This is going to be bomb. So, okay, we have Shay on here. And Shay, will you just kind of start off? Because we have a lot of new distributors on here. We just had a new distributor training right before this. I was leading a leader Zoom. She was doing new distributor training. We're kind of tag teaming this whole night pretty much. So we have a couple different teams on here tonight with us. But I just wanted to have you share a little bit about your story for people who are new and may not know who you are yet. So you can just start with that. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Hello guys, I have been doing Zooms for like the last 3 hours, so I've got all the things to share with you, but I am Cheyenne Knox. I am an ambassador diamond with the business, triple diamond, soon to be presidential. I'm 22 years old and I've been in the business for 4.5 years. I joined when I was a 18-year-old senior in high school with 20 cents in her bank account looking for a saving grace. I came from just a really rough past that didn't really set me up for success between government housing, government assistance, moving house to house because we couldn't afford the rent before the next one and had to move out because we couldn't afford that. And I know that many of you relate to that. And so I just needed something. I didn't know what it was. I didn't have any expectations when I joined this business. I just knew that if I could give it a try, I saw other people that had success in it. And so I just had to give it a chance and give it a shot to see if it would work out the same for me. And thank God I did that, because within that first 5 months of me being in the business, I was making a full-time income with this. So I was able to pay all of my college tuition in cash. I was able to, meet friends and have a community for the first time that I'd never really experienced before. A space where I was pretty much forced to level up and to grow and to become a better version of myself. And then I ended up dropping out of college to pursue this business full time because I genuinely saw what it was doing for me and my life, and I wanted to go all in with it. And so for the last 3 years, I've been doing this business full time. I built it all the way to the top of the company, and I'm starting over. And just being able to say, obviously, all of the financial things this business has done for me are incredible, and I could talk about this forever, but that stuff doesn't really matter at the end of the day when I've got to see my relationship with God and how much it's grown, the friends that I've met, the people and the value that those relationships have brought me, the confidence within myself, and truly just giving me a passion. Life is really short, and being able to say, I found my calling, I know what I'm good at, and I get to do this every single day and not only inspire people, but show them that there is another way. That's the most important thing about what I do. And so I'm super excited to share tips with y'all tonight.
Yes, this is going to be so good. So, like I said before, Shay is always a top distributor enroller. She always enrolls tons of people every single month. And I wanted to just reiterate this too. If you're brand new here and you're like, what do I need to be doing every single, month to grow my business? We have something super simple called the steps to success. Okay. So that is enrolling 6 customers and 3 team members each month. It's not a quota. It's not something that you have to hit or like something's going to happen if you don't do it. It's just a guide so that if you are doing that every month and teaching your team how to do that, you're going to get to the top rank in this company like Shay did. So that's what we're trying to get you to do. And so with my team, we're doing kind of a series this month where the first 2 have been really focused on distributors. And the second 2 Zooms that we have this month are going to be focused on customers, because there are bonuses right now for people to promote to certain ranks. There's also, Ruby on the table. You want to promote to Ruby. That's the first major promotion that you'll hit after you get your shopping spree. And so you need customers and team members in order to do that. Don't get too caught up in the details. If your enroller hasn't gone over that with you, you're just not there yet. But I just want to let you know that our goal is to get charted for our promotion. So getting those distributors and those team members that you need by the middle point of the month, and then getting the volume for the promotion through the second half of the month. So that's why we're focused on distributors right now. And then we're going to focus on customers next week on our Zoom. So I'm super excited about that too. But the reason, I just wanted to set that up for you. Like, this is why we're talking about distributors. That's why this is important. So it's a really big deal that you're assigning distributors, and it's so simple and easy to do once you take these tips. So whenever we're signing distributors, think about it. None of us would be here right now if someone hadn't shared this opportunity with us. And thank goodness that they did, because now we get to change our lives and have that same opportunity that Shay was talking about. So Shay, tell us a little bit about what are some of the ways that whenever you first started this business that you think people really were like, I want to join with her? Like, what were things that set you apart when you were brand new and did not, because I think the biggest thing for people is they're like, well, I haven't made any money. How can I share this opportunity? Put a 1 in the chat if you're like, that's me and I would love to know the answer to that. Okay. You're like, I haven't made any money. I barely started this business. I'm super new. What do I share about this business and how do I share this opportunity? So what did you do?
So 2 things. Number one, my confidence, and number two, my excitement. Those are the two things as to why people join me. Without a story, without a success story, without the car, without the house, without the money, without the bonuses, without all the flashy things I can sure talk about now. I started the business 4.5 years ago in the same exact spot that you're in. And I can tell you that the only reason that people got started was they had FOMO about what I was doing. Oh, she's talking about making extra income? How? She's really excited about this. What even is it? I was talking so much about where I was going with this business. When I first got started, there was a $500 Ruby bonus on the table. Now that's not available for y'all. There's a $300 Ruby bonus. Now there's a $5,000 Emerald bonus. There's all sorts of bonuses. So I was talking about the bonus I was going to earn at the time. I had no clue how I was going to earn that bonus. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know what Ruby was. I had no idea what any of that entailed, but I knew that I was broke and I knew that I needed this business to work. So my upline said, hey, you're going Ruby. I said, you got it, sis. She said, okay, you're going to post this. You got it. I don't know what I'm saying or what I'm supposed to post, but I'm going to do it, right? How many of y'all drop a 2 if you're like, I will do whatever. Give it to me. It's done. Check. Got it. It's already done. Booked and busy 10 minutes early. I got it. That was me. And so I was posting about how excited I was that this business was going to pay for my groceries. It was going to pay for my gas. It was going to pay for my food. I was going to college soon. And so I was talking about how I was going to pay for college. And above all else, I was freaking excited about it. Okay. We didn't have Instagram stories back then. We didn't have any of the resources that y'all have now, which is even better for you. But all I did was post all day long. Now we don't do that anymore, but I sure did all day long talking about what I was going for, what it was going to do for me, and people all the time. And it's still the same way that people message me, as they're like, okay, I've been seeing your post. What is it that you do? That's what you want. You want people that message you without having a single clue what the heck it is that you're even selling, promoting, or doing. All they know is you're excited and they have to know what you're doing, right? And so I know that sometimes you're like, well, I don't even know how to be confident or how to be excited about it because I don't know. Fake it till you make it, sister. What I did was I leaned on other people and saw the beliefs that they had and was like, if my upline did it, I can do it. If this person's successful, I can do it. And so all I got to do is be excited. Check, I got it. And so you can sit there and just say, I'm so excited because I'm working from my phone now. I get to make an extra income. Like right now, this training should be posted on your story. Post a cute boomerang and say like, I'm so excited. I launched my business. I'm on a training where I'm getting taught how to make extra money from my phone. You know how many people need extra income right now? Raise your hand if you can think of one person that if you put $500 in their bank account, it would change their life. All of you. Your hand should be raised. You have that opportunity to be able to be excited and confident and reach out and message and plant the seeds over and over about the opportunity that you have, because we can message people and talk to people all day long and give this option to people, but we can't make them say yes. So what can we do to encourage them to do that and show them what we know we have our hands on, right? Be excited, be confident, and share exactly where you're going with this business.
I love that. And I think that one thing you have to remember too is that whenever you're talking about where you're going, it's not because you absolutely know for 100% certain that you're going to get there. Whenever Shay was like, oh, I'm going to hit Ruby, I'm going to hit Emerald, I'm going to hit Diamond, there are times where I've shouted out things that I didn't end up hitting. I watch myself back on, like the little where you can see things you posted on that day for the last 7 years. You look at 2009 and you're like, ooh. Okay, well, I see stuff that I've posted at the very beginning of my business this day last year or whatever, or not this day last year, but this day 4 years ago. And I'll watch myself do a video that says, I'm going diamond this month. I'm going diamond this month. And looking at that video now, I can say she didn't hit it that month. Like that, Morgan did not hit that promotion that month, even though she said she would. She didn't do it. So here's what I want you to understand, because I've had a couple conversations with different people this week who said, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. Well, here's the deal. Think about it this way. When you go to college and you say, okay, I'm going to go to school at this university, I'm going to graduate in 4 years with a nursing degree. Well, 2.5 years into it, you end up failing a class, or you end up not needing to take a couple classes and you graduate a little bit earlier or a little bit later. Were you a liar when you told everybody you were going to graduate in 4 years, but it took you 4.5? No, because you had every intention of hitting that goal at that time, in that time frame. It just didn't happen the way you thought it would, but it still happened because you still stuck it out. So you still became a nurse or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't get too caught up in, is it going to happen, or how do I do this or whatever. You just have to know why you want it. And that's what's going to make people excited to join you. And whenever you look at somebody who's excited on their social media, that stands out to you. Think about how many people you see on social media right now on Facebook who just love their life, who are just excited. Nobody, except for the ones in this business. My timeline's full of that because I have a lot of people from It Works on there. But otherwise, like my other friends that are not in this company, it's a whole lot of negativity. It's a lot of politics. It's a lot of crap I don't care about. When you are excited, you automatically stand out. You're like, how are people going to notice me? Be excited. That's all it takes right now, because you're going to stand out. You're one of the only people on their timeline who love their life, and people are going to be so attracted to that. So live that life that you want. Like, talk about the things that you're gonna get. I remember whenever I joined this business, I talked about the gas money and the grocery money I was gonna get. I said that this is gonna pay for my gas. This is going to pay for my groceries. I hadn't even had a paycheck yet, but I knew that I was going to be able to hit all of those goals that I had for myself if I didn't quit. And so I talked about those things. And so whenever I started to hit those goals, and this is the same with whatever Shay was saying, like, when we hit those goals, it wasn't just people being like, oh, cool. No, it was people who had watched us say that we were going to do X, Y, and Z, and then we did it, but they had been watching us for 6 to 9 months or however long it took to hit that goal. And so once we did it, they were either joining us or cheering us on. It wasn't like, oh, that's cool, interesting. It was like she did it, yes, okay, awesome. Or like, oh shoot, she did it. I didn't think she would, but she did. Like, they're gonna have a reaction to you because they're gonna watch you, they're gonna cheer you on, and you want people to follow you wherever you are going. So talk about those things. Talk about where you're going. Okay. The next thing, let's talk a little bit about social media, because I think that this is something people struggle with, and you're bomb on social media. So before we get into how you enroll distributors, talk about how you're attracting people to your page, because we know that we can add people to our network. We kind of talk a little bit about how to do that. If you want to talk about that too, you can. I know it's different for us now with how we get new people to follow us and things, but going back to how we used to add people when we first joined this business, let's talk a little bit about that. And then how people get, like, people buy into you before they buy into the products. Tell them how you get them to do that.
Yeah, so I love talking about this, especially to newbies, because you guys, I had 300 followers on my Instagram when I first joined this business. Drop a 1 if you were afraid you didn't have enough followers when you got started. That was something you thought about. You're like, well, I don't know how many followers. I don't have enough people. I can't get people to buy products from me. I don't even have like a lot of people on here. Okay, I only had 300 followers on my Instagram. I posted about once every year, and it was Christmas with my dog. That was like all the pictures that I posted. Selfies were like going out of style. Remember when selfies, like, it was a big deal? Like, you got Instagram and you could put like the cute little filters on that they already had, like sepia and the black and white. And it was like, which one am I going to pick? Right. And that's how we posted. That was it. Okay. That was about the content of my Instagram, was the selfies that I posted that were so awful. Okay. That was it. So when I joined, I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to be able to not only enroll people from this social media. So I couldn't even really call it an Instagram page because it was not that. And then also, how am I going to be able to post like these top leaders do, where they look so great and they have all together and they have all this success and all this story? I get it. And so I'm putting myself in your shoes and telling you that that was me at one point. We all start. And in order for me to get to this point that I'm at, I've learned to grow my market, grow my network, figure out what I want to share. And what's so good about this business is we don't all have to grow our network the same way. We don't have to find the same people. We don't have to work the business the same way. You do you, okay? You do exactly what you want to do, exactly the way that you want to do it. So the way that I followed and stuff was, I've always done this, and I still to this day do it if I feel like I need to get some new people to my page. I was in college and in high school when I joined this business. I have no kids, no dogs, no spouse, no nothing. So when I went to go follow, I found things that I like. TJ Maxx, Taco Bell. I was in a sorority. I loved shopping, and I loved like decor and buying stuff to like decorate. Those were the things that I loved. So what did I do? I followed based on that. So going to hashtags for TJ Maxx, going to sorority Instagram pages, college pages, finding a cute girl on social media that was young like me and following all the people that were friends with her. That's how I really branched it out. So are you a mom? Follow moms. Are you a college student? Follow other college students. Do you like fashion? Go to the explore page and go find a picture that sticks out to you. Follow the people that like it. grow your network based on things that you feel like are who you are. Now, I didn't really have an identity when I joined this business. I didn't know who I was or what the things that I loved, because I wasn't ever put in a position where I needed to know those things. And so I just started finding the things that I loved to do, that I enjoyed to do. And I got ideas from other people, the things that I wanted to do. And so that's kind of how I really got new people to my page. But going off of that, of how did I make sure that I could, brand myself and post about those things and attract people to my page, was now it's even easier. You have Instagram stories, you have Reels, you have TikTok, you have, all these different resources to get people to your page. All me and Morgan had was a good old post on Facebook and Instagram. That was it. We used to post like 3 or 4 times a day about the products and the business opportunity, because that's the only resource we had. Now you could post a reel tomorrow about your kid jumping off the coffee table and get 2 million views, and now you've got all these people to your page. It's insane how we have these funnels to get people to our page. And so you really push to get out of your comfort zone when you join this business and utilize different resources. And the best part about it is, over the last 4.5 years, all I've done is pivot. I started doing one thing, and then I saw another person do another thing and tried to do what they were doing. I tried to do what this person was doing. If this person, it was working for them, I got out of my comfort zone and started doing TikTok to get people to my page. Then I started doing Reels. And so doing different things based on who you are and what your brand is how people are going to start coming to your page. And then additionally, how are we going to get them to stay, right? So I'm going to talk about one of my girls on here. Her name's Alyssa. She's a diamond. She's amazing. She was posting the other day, and she always posts about her coffee business and the products. Then her daughter straight up walked into the shower with her clothes fully on while she was waiting to get in the shower. She documented that. She posted the video of her daughter walking into the shower. It was freaking hilarious. And now her social media that sees, her being a mom, they get to see that she's a mom and she does this business. Then they're going to start watching her, seeing what she's doing as she's integrating her life into it. Social media is a highlight reel. So you sometimes have to come down to reality and share the things that you're doing. If you're in college, share the stuff you're working on. Share your project, your homework. If you're a mom, share the hot mess journey of being a mom. If you are working full time, post about how you're working in the bathroom. I used to sit on the counter at work to make sure that I could work my social media and do this business at the same time. Whole other conversation, but your brand is just who you are. It's the things that you love. It's the things that make you authentic. And people that join me are not going to be the same people that join Alyssa, that join Jamie, that join Brandy, that join Beatrice. They're going to be people that you have attracted to your page based on the things that you like to do. Don't try to be somebody else. Make your social media you and be authentically you, and you will attract other people that are just like you. And then they'll start saying, how does this girl make money? What are these products that she's posting about? Why does she seem so excited all the time? Why is she happy? I want to be happy. Why is she not broke? Why is she traveling? How is she doing these things? Like, who are all these friends she's always posting about in these Zoom trainings? Like, I have people join me just because all I do is post about these Zoom trainings. They're like, I want to be part of this. Why is everybody smiling? Why are you excited? That's why people are going to follow you. And that's how you're going to get them to start seeing what it is that you're doing.
That's so good. And you have to remember too, that whenever you're thinking about the things that make you who you are, like whenever Shay was talking about, okay, the things that I love are TJ Maxx, and I was in a sorority and all those things. So if she's going to find people who love TJ Maxx and she's following people like that from that platform, she's going to go post about TJ Maxx, because now those people, she knows they're going to be interested in anything to do with TJ Maxx. Then they're going to start watching her post because she's talking about TJ Maxx and her hauls, or, oh my gosh, I spent my whole paycheck at TJ Maxx, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, me too. And then she posts about the business. Boom. That's how she gets distributors. She posts about the opportunity. She blends it all together. It's not just posting about the business. Okay, so I want y'all to just understand that, like, the reason why we get distributors, or how we're enrolling these people and getting them interested, isn't because we just post about the business 24/7. People buy into you before you buy into the product, right? They're not gonna join you because you're really good at posting. They're going to join you because they made a connection with you. You seem genuine. You seemed authentic. Maybe they're a mom and you're not, but they still liked your post. They thought that you were, oh my gosh, you inspire me, or you're hilarious, or whatever it is. And they're going to connect with you then they're going to say yes to the business or to the products. So it's not the other way around. So I just want you to realize, like, if you're like, well, I'm posting about the business every single day, but I'm not getting distributors, that might be the problem. Is that not that you're posting about the business every day? That's great. But maybe that's the only thing you're posting about. That's not good because nobody knows you. And so whenever I'm looking at my little screen up here and I see Brooke and Amber are up there. So they're actually two of like really good people on my team who do what we're trying to get you to understand. They're both moms, they're both have babies. And so they talk about those things. They talk about, you know, Amber asked questions about Harper and she's like, you know, what did you do with your baby whenever she started crawling and rolling over and whatever. And then Brooke's like, you know, this is my son and I do hair tutorials and all these things. And so now people are following her because of that. And they show their personality and they are very different people, but they love to show their life. And so people join Amber and people join Brooke because they're like, oh, I connected with them with that. So I also want to join this business because like Shay said, she was like, I forgot the person's name that you were talking about on your team. I'm sorry. But that girl like that posted about her daughter, they're seeing that she's a mom and she also does this business. That's what you want to get people to see. So that's super good. Hopefully that helps you. Drop a 3, I think is the number that we're on. Drop a 3 in the chat if you're like, that's what I need to change. Okay. Drop your ahas as you have them and be like, oh my gosh, that was huge. Okay. Because I think that that's like a big thing that you have to remember too, is that you're not just adding people. You're going to also find people that find your page and that do that by you being on public, so that you're public on Instagram. They can find you through the explore page or TikToks and reels, which we're going to get into in just a second actually. But put in the chat how you found this business. Was it TikTok or reels? And then you probably moved over from Instagram, but like you originally found them on TikToks or reels. Okay. So everywhere. So that's why it's important to do all the things and post all the ways. And you can make this super simple and streamlined. You don't have to like do whatever. Like you can copy your TikToks to your reels. You can copy your Instagram captions to your Facebook, and you can make it really simple to post on all of your platforms, but you don't want to leave anything out. So Shay, what are some things that you do to enroll distributors? So we talked about like social media, making it look really nice, like getting it to be, you know, where people go to that and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so bright. I want to go look at all of her pictures that she's talking about. I relate to her. We talked about, you know, believing in yourself, getting excited, talking about where you're going. So now what do we do?
Brandy found you because you dance on TikTok. So your dancing's pretty great, Morgan.
My one dancing video. Maybe I should do it more because Brandy's Ruby. She promoted to Ruby. Maybe I should just dance some more, I guess.
Yeah, so dance on TikTok, guys. That's how you do it. My answer is everything. Everything. There's not a thing I'm not willing to do when it comes to this business, because I know that it works differently for everyone. And like I said, you can do whatever you want to do. But I know that I want to be successful, and I know that I've got big goals and big dreams, and I will do whatever it takes to see that success. Now, I know that when I first got started, it was a different kind of hunger for success. I was like actually really broke and had 20 cents in my account, and I had a different motivation. But now, you know, that evolves. But when it comes to that, I will do whatever it takes. And so I post TikToks. I post those TikToks over to my reels. I post on my Instagram and I copy that caption over to my Facebook. I go live on Facebook. I post on my story. I post on my Facebook story. And I know it seems crazy, but all those things are really connected. You know, I just want them to be a funnel to get them to my Instagram, to where when I am posting that post about this business or an inspirational post, that I'm getting them there from my TikTok, from my reels, from my Facebook Live, from my stories that I've interacted with, and getting them all to stay on my page. Now, I didn't know how to do TikTok. I started TikTok in April of last year, and I felt like a teetotal idiot. Okay, I was like, I cannot dance. I don't know any of these songs. I'm not 12 years old. This is ridiculous. But I saw people having success with it. So what did I do? I did it. And they sucked at first, and they maybe still suck. Y'all can be honest. They may still suck, but they work because I'm getting out there. I'm sharing this opportunity to anybody that will listen. My goal is to get this out to as many people as I can every day. I don't care if they say yes. I don't care if they're interested. I don't care if they're interested today. I don't care if they have other jobs. I don't care. I want them to know what I do. And I know that now they're going to be watching my every move. I want you to drop in the chat, how long did you watch your upline before you said yes? This is one of the most impactful things that I always ask on Zooms, because I want you to see the power of being consistent and sharing this on every platform in every way and figuring it out as you go, because I want you all to look at the chat right now. And I want you to look at this as if it's a timeline of your own business, okay? So in a couple weeks from now, you're gonna enroll Alyssa. A week after that, you're gonna get JC. 3 days from now, you're gonna get Kayla. 3 months after this, Alicia. 30 minutes from now, you're gonna get Abby. A year from now, you're gonna get Crystal. That's the power of using all these resources, because you saw earlier how everyone said, I came from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Reels, Twitter, whatever it is. They're coming from these platforms because your upline or their upline was quite willing to do whatever and get out there and figure it out. I didn't know how to do Reels. I didn't know how to make my own captions. I didn't know how to go Facebook Live. I sweat through my shirt. I was wearing a Texas Longhorn shirt on my Facebook Live, the very first one I ever did. And it was like a light pastel orange. And by the end of that Zoom, it was burnt orange, wet, because I was sweating through my shirt. I literally, y'all see me smiling. I'm a real passionate person. I had people commenting on that live saying, you should smile. Are you okay? Like, make sure to smile, girl. Like, people trying to encourage me, because I was like, okay, so I joined It Works. We have 50 products. Like, I was so stressed out and nervous and panicky. Same with TikTok. I was like, should I post this? Should I post it? No, I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna delete it. No, should I post it? I probably should post it. I don't know, I look retarded. Okay, I'm gonna post it. And then Reels, right? You go do Reels. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to use the music. I didn't know how to do the timing, but I kept doing it, and I just figured it out. And so, guys, wing it like chicken dinner. Follow your upline, everything that they're doing, and I just do it all. I'm always just on my story and interacting with people, trying to plug people into what I'm doing, and just trying to make sure that I have something up there. And I know that it seems crazy now, and you're like, well, I don't have a lot of time. I didn't either. But the more you do something, the better that you get, right? If you go to the gym tomorrow, I wouldn't have a single clue how to use any of those machines, okay? The first time I went to the gym at my old apartment, I put my foot in a place that your hand is supposed to go, okay? And I got stuck and fell over, and I was like, oh my gosh, and there were people in there trying to help me. I literally, it's the thing that you put your arm in and you pull it from the ground. Well, I was like, well, it's on the floor. I'm gonna put my foot in it and just try to pull my leg. That's not what it's for. But I learned that day that that's not what it's for, and then I kept going. Y'all are dying, and I literally almost cried. I was so embarrassed. But that's the same thing. When you do this business, your first TikTok may be an epic fail. Your first captions may suck. When my time hop comes up, like Morgan was talking about, every day, guys, I've been in this business for almost 5 years. So every day there's a memory at least once out of the 5 years. And I'm like, oh, no, why did you post that? That's terrible. But it worked, because that post is what started me to getting to this point. I went from 300 followers to 31,000 followers because I just kept going and I kept figuring it out. I still copy Morgan. I still copy other top leaders. I still get inspiration from other people, because there's still things I don't understand and I don't know, but I'm not willing to not do it. Because what if my upline 4.5 years ago wouldn't have posted on Instagram that day? I randomly clicked on the Discover page, randomly clicked on her photo, and if she wouldn't have posted that day, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be on the Zoom. I wouldn't have had the success that I've had. I wouldn't be in this home that I'm in. Like, it's kind of crazy when you think about that. So every day, my conviction is, if I don't post, maybe my next like rock star would have seen that post. If I don't post a reel, what if my next rock star would have seen that? What if my next Morgan Martin would have been on there? Y'all, like, I need another Morgan Martin on my team at all times. Like, my doors are always open. So, you know, I want to make sure I always have that door open. And so make sure that you're doing everything, and you will learn. You just have to start. If you never start doing TikToks, you're never going to learn how to do it. If you never start making reels, you're never going to learn how to make reels. If you never start going live, you're never going to get better at talking. My first Zooms, I can pretty much guarantee you they were awful. Okay, probably sweat through them, maybe threw up before and maybe probably after, and I was probably really stressed out and stuttered over all of my words. And now I feel like I'm pretty confident in doing them, and I could have done 3 the last 3 hours. So just start, figure it out, and do all the things.
So good. Drop a 4 if you're like, she is preaching to me. This is what I needed tonight. Okay, so let's talk a little bit, because there's 2 other questions that I have for sure. And I'm just kind of winging this as you go. I'm just thinking of questions. So
Me too.
Okay, perfect. So I have 2 questions I thought of off of what you said. The first one that I want you to talk about is how long people, like you said, okay, post how long you watched your Enroll or whatever. So let's talk a little bit more about that. what do you do when you're doing all the things and you're still not enrolling people? How do you stay consistent? How do you still stay excited enough to keep doing those things even though you're not seeing the fruit? And at what point would you be like, okay, maybe I need to change something that I'm doing? Because I'm doing all the things, so I should be getting results, but I'm not. Is it something I'm doing wrong? Or should I just wait it out? And then if I wait it out, that's a little discouraging because it seems like everybody's getting where I want to be and I'm not getting where I want to be. That's comparison side notes. So stop looking at what other people are doing. They're where they are because they're not looking at you. If you would stop looking at them, you'd be where they are too. But I want you to tell us a little bit about like staying consistent, staying committed, even whenever you're not seeing all the results of the work that you're putting in yet.
So I love this question, okay, because like I've said, I've been where all of you have been. I have been in this business for 4.5 years, so that's like a lot of months. I don't know math, but let's just say 60 months. Okay, that's a lot of months that I've been in this business where some months were really freaking great and some months sucked. Okay, how many of you have ever been in sales or any kind of business? The sales that generate, even Sonic, think of Sonic, they don't sell the same amount of burgers every single month. Okay, but they still show up and open their doors every day, right? It's still on the menu, people can order it, but they might not. They might sell 747 burgers this month, and next month they might sell 400, and they're like, well, what's wrong with the burger? Nothing. It's just sales. There's different amount of people that are there available to buy the burgers every single month. And I guess I'm hungry. I don't know why I went to Sonic, but there's an analogy. So when it comes to this business, you're going to be planting seeds over and over and over. Now, you can't make people click submit, but you can give them enough FOMO to where they do by planting seeds, fertilizing the seed by posting, branding, going live, posting TikToks. I can tell you that my girls that I see on here, they didn't join me because they saw one thing. They didn't see me because they saw one TikTok. They didn't join me because they saw one reel or saw one passionate post about the business. Now, obviously some people do, but the majority of you watched for a while to say, what is this girl doing? How is she doing it? But you know what? They're all silent. Majority of them, you will never see them there. Some of the best people on my team, one of them, that's one of my best friends, blocked me like 3 times before she decided to join, okay? And there's people like that all the time that unfriend me and find me again, and I hear these stories all the time. But you wanna know what? I'm out there planting so many seeds, I don't even notice the ones that don't say yes, the ones that don't join, the ones that don't message me back. I could not even tell you how many people I talked today. I don't know if they read my message or not, because I'm out there planting so many seeds and using all these platforms to get out to as many people as I can, because the more seeds I have planted, the more people I'm going to enroll. You want to know why I'm a top enroller? Not because I woke up like that, not because I just had a good month. I consistently enroll that many people because of the seeds I planted over the last 4.5 years, which I know that you're going to say, well, you've been here so long, like I'm not going to ever be able to enroll like that. I had months my first year where I got 19 distributors. I had months my first year where I got 0 for 6 months. But it was because I kept planting seeds over and over and over and over. And finally, these people would say yes and yes and yes, and the timeline's different for everyone. So I want to read y'all this. If you're new and you don't read or you have not heard about personal development, you need to read, and I recommend every single one of you to read this book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's the most incredible book. It's the first book I ever read, and my team knows, they hear me talk about this all the freaking time because it changed my life. And I want to read this to y'all because I feel like it'll give you perspective. So it says, the roots create the fruits. Imagine a tree. Let's suppose this tree represents the tree of life. On this tree, there are fruits. In life, our fruits are called our results. So we look at the fruit, our results, and we don't like them. There aren't enough of them, they're too small, and they don't taste good. So what do we tend to do? Most of us put even more attention on the focus of the fruits, our results, but what is it that actually creates those fruits and those results? It's the seeds that create the fruits. It's what's under the ground that creates above the ground. It's what's invisible that creates the visible. So when you think about all these fruits that you want, distributors, right? You want all these fruits to just abundantly flow into your life. What are the roots that are planted? Are you posting every day? Are you excited? Are you encouraging? Are you positive? Are you doing reels and TikToks and getting out there and going live even though it's out of your comfort zone? Are you planting all these seeds with people so that you're getting an abundant amount of fruits? The fruits that I'm receiving are not a product of me planting that tree yesterday. They're of me planting and planting and planting and watering and watering and fertilizing, and then they start to harvest. A farmer doesn't plant all those seeds and sit there and stare at it and say, well, it should grow today. If it doesn't, I'm just going to quit my job. No, they plant and plant and plant and they keep going. Why do you see there's rows when you pass all those fields and there's rows after rows after rows after rows? They're not sitting at the first seed that they planted and watching it grow. They're already fields and acres and miles away from the first seed that they're planted. They're over here fertilizing more. Now what's going to happen? Some of these seeds are going to harvest before the ones way over on the other side, right? Because they're watering all these, they're fertilizing all of them, and they're all going to harvest at different times because not every plant's going to grow at the same speed. And so when it comes to all these seeds that you're planting and all these distributors you're trying to enroll, they will enroll if you believe that they will. And if you keep getting out there and being excited about the business opportunity that you have on your hands, and then fertilizing it every day with all the things that you're doing, they're all going to come to you. But I can promise you that if you beg them to join, you'll beg them to work. So give them the opportunity and then keep going and finding new people. When my head hits the pillow, I don't give a flying crap if I enrolled that day. What I do care about is, Cheyenne, did you plant seeds today? Did you reach out to people? Did you get new people to your page? Did you have new conversations with people you've never talked to before? If yes, you had a successful day. That's my success checkpoint. Not if I checked off everything that I'm supposed to do for my business, not if making sure I got every single post and every single host to post up. It's that, did I have new conversations with people because I was doing all the things and I didn't focus on the ones that didn't enroll. I went out there to find the ones that did want to.
So freaking good. Okay, so I want to highlight one of the things that she said, because I say this all the time, and I know we have people on here who have heard this before, but it didn't hit them right the first time, or you're brand new and you've never heard me say this. You have to stop focusing on the results and start focusing on the process. When you focus on the process, you get both, which means that you become a better person, a better leader, a better human, better mindset, and you enroll the distributors and the customers. When you're just focused on the customers and distributors and woe is me and why isn't this working for me and I can't do this and I can't do that and this just isn't working and I'm stuck and blah, 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 then you're going to attract more of that, number one. Number two, you're not going to be encouraged and you're always going to be focusing on what you lack, instead of focusing on what you want and where you're going and what you are doing and the things you can control. Can I control if somebody sends me their information to become a customer? No. Can I control if somebody decides to join this business with me or not? No. But put a 1 in the chat if you can control showing up as your best self today. Can you control that? Yes. And the good news is that all of you are in control of your business and you all have the opportunity to make the exact same choice. The difference in the ones who are successful and the ones who aren't is that choice. Do you show up every day? And I'm not talking about on the days whenever you feel good and you're excited and you want to and everything's going the way you wanted it to go. I'm talking about the days whenever you don't feel like it. Do you still show up? I do. And I'm not bragging on myself, but some of you look at where I am and you're like, I just really want the life that you have, but are you willing to make the sacrifices that I made to get here? So I show up when I don't want to. I do the things I don't want to do because I know that it's going to benefit me. It's going to change my life. And so even though I stub my toe, I still show up on these Zooms. I still do the things that I know that are going to make me be successful. And like Shay said, I'm focused on the conversations. That's what I'm worried about. I don't care if I sign a customer or if I don't. There are days where I don't sign people. Sometimes I'll go a week without signing somebody. Now I've been in the business for so long that I have so many seeds in that funnel that I'm usually enrolling something because I've talked to so many people. When you start talking to more people, you're going to have the same thing happen too. But when I go through those spurts of not talking or not enrolling people, I ask myself, how can I get in more conversations? And then I do whatever it takes. I don't sit there and just accept the fact that, oh, I'm just not signing anybody. No. I'm taking initiative as a business owner to take responsibility and say, okay, so what am I going to do to change that? Because I don't like that. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to get more host to post up. I'm going to have more people post on their wall for me. Every single day, we should be getting 5 to 10 people to post on their wall for us. I'm going to make more TikToks. I'm going to do more reels. I'm going to make more posts and I'm going to do more stories. I'm going to share my face on my story and I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and I'm going to go live. I'm going to do all the things that make me sweat, you know, like Shay was talking about. I'm going to do the things that make me nervous and I'm going to do them anyways because that's how badly you want it. So stop focusing on the results, just focus on the process, and you get both. That's the beauty of this business, and you can make that choice. Okay, another thing that you said about, I don't even know who read my messages. Let me just say this. Stop going back. I'm like shaking you. If I was with you, I'd be like lovingly just shaking you a little bit. Stop going back and looking at who read your messages. Oh my goodness. Why would you do that? Number one, you was wasting time that you don't have. And you're sitting here like, I don't have time to work my business. Boo-boo, that's because you spend 30 minutes of your day going back through messages you already sent to see who read them. If you had spent that time growing your business and talking to new people, then you would have time to work this business. But also, you can spend that time with your family. Your time is better spent doing something else, and those thoughts don't serve you. I have people leave me on red all the time. The difference between me and you is that I don't focus on that. So I'm more encouraged than you are. Not because of where I am, and not because of, I am where I am because I'm encouraged. And I'm encouraged because I'm not focused on the things that are not happening for me. I'm focused on the things that are happening for me. I'm not focused on the ones who don't respond. I'm focused on the ones who are responding to me. And that's where my focus goes. Your focus forms your future. Stop focusing on the ones who don't reply or leave you on red. Also, one thing I always say to my team too, if you're being left on red, stop calling it ghosting. You have to realize people have busy lives, and we're going to follow up with them either way. So whenever people don't respond back to you, always assume the best. Assume that they got busy, they stopped, they forgot, they opened it up and their kids started screaming, they had to go get them, and then they came back and they forgot to read your message. Anybody ever forgotten to reply to a message before? Okay, cut them some slack. It's not because they're not interested. We're going to follow up with them anyways. Okay. All right, let's talk two things to end the Zoom. Let's talk excuses and let's talk about mindset. They kind of go hand in hand. So let's talk a little bit about that. If you're on the new distributor training, we always talk about excuses on there. So this might be a little refresher for you, but it's always good. I love hearing just different people talk about excuses and how we all can make excuses, but I love watching people who could make excuses more so than me and they still don't. That inspires me. So tell us a little bit about excuses and mindset when you're signing distributors.
So I want to ask you in the chat, I want you to respond to this. Would excuses pay my bills or action? Excuses or action? Okay, we all have excuses. And you can find an excuse if you look for it. You will always find it. Kind of like if you want to be offended, you can find a reason to be offended. If you want to be unmotivated, you can find a reason to be unmotivated. If you don't want to work out, you can find a reason to not work out. I promise you, there will always be an option, plan B for you to choose. Now, when it comes to your own business, you're self-employed. You run your own business. You do not have a boss telling you what to do every second of every day, making sure you get it done, and they don't pay you if you don't get it done. That's you. You're that person that doesn't cut you a check if you don't work, right? And so when it comes to this business, I have lost family members. I've lost animals. I've lost friends. I've gone through the unthinkable with family. I've been unmotivated. I've gone through seasons of not feeling super happy and just feeling super discouraged and going through hard parts of my business. But quitting was never an option. Giving up was never an option, and making excuses was also never an option because I pay my own bills. Excuses don't pay your bills. And so if you look for an excuse, you'll find it. You're too busy? No. There are people on here that I can see holding their babies, cooking dinner while also holding a baby on this Zoom. You can easily say, oh, well, I get an excuse all the time. Well, it's this, it's that, it's this. I have dinner, I have that. Make it work, you guys. No one said it was going to be easy because you have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and be a little bit uncomfortable in order to accomplish those goals, right? Or everybody would do it. You know, just like Morgan was saying, like, are you willing to make the sacrifices? I call them investments. Are you going to be willing to stay up late and get up early? Are you going to be willing to maybe, you know, take a little bit extra family time away for a month in order to make sure your promotion happens so that you can give it to them long term? You know, when you think about all these things that you want to do, we can make excuses every single day as to why it's not going to work. Oh, I can't post today because I didn't do my makeup. Oh, I can't do this because I didn't get ready for this. Oh, I have this plan, so I can't get all the work done today. Oh, well, I have 3 jobs to work today. What if you looked at on the flip side of, I have 5 minutes, I can do it now. I'm at a stop sign, I can post this post. Oh, I can get up 5 minutes earlier for this. Okay, I have to be work at 7:30. I can get up at 5:30 to make sure I have an hour to work my business. Now, do we want to get up earlier? No. Do we want to stay up later? No. Do we want to, instead watch Netflix than work our business? Sometimes. Do you you know what I mean? So you can always choose that other option, but is that option making you better, growing your paycheck, or helping you get closer to your goal? Chances are it's probably no. And so when you find yourself thinking that excuse, it's a trained mindset. People with really strong mindsets started out with a weak one. And they figured out that they have the power to turn off their own mind. And so when I think of something that I'd rather do, I say, okay, but you can't do that now. You can do it later and reward myself with it. So take the TikTok, make the reels, take a day on Sunday, if it's your day off, or any time that you have, get ready, make a bunch of videos and post them. Save a bunch of pictures that you can post with your captions. Go in your team page and find captions, ask your upline for them, make your own captions, save them in a note. I had all of my posts saved as drafts when I was working, so that I made sure that I always had posts available, so that when I did have 5 minutes, I could easily just go in my notes, find the caption, find a selfie that I took last week that nobody knows I didn't take today, and I still do that just to make sure that you have that content. And then when it comes to mindset, when it comes to enrolling, okay, like I was talking about the gym earlier and me putting my foot where my hand's supposed to go. When it comes to that, that's a muscle that I'm growing, okay? I go to the gym, I don't know how to use the stuff that I'm going to, but maybe in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna know how to use that machine and I mastered it. And then I'm gonna keep working out, and that muscle is only gonna get stronger. That's the same way with your mind. What happens here and the enrollments that you get here start up here. Do you believe it? Are you saying they're going to enroll from the moment you're talking to them? Are you excited and confident on your stories? Do you know exactly where you're going and what you want out of this business, so that when the excuses do creep up and the mindset does seem to fail you and you seem discouraged and overwhelmed, what are you going to do to flip on that switch and say, you know what, I know where I'm going. You know what, I have a goal. You know what, I'm going here. And I see so many people that come to me and they're like, I'm just not enrolling. And I'm like, okay, let's look at your page. And they're posting, they're doing TikToks, they're doing reels, but I can tell they don't believe. And you can be doing all the things. You can be doing TikToks and reels and going live and posting on your social media and sharing your story. But if you don't believe that you can enroll, that enrollment will never end up in your personally enrolled team, because you've already canceled it before it even got started. You've already said, oh, they're going to tell me they can't afford it. Oh, they're probably going to tell me no. How many of y'all have ever done that? I've done it too. And we get in these headspaces like, oh, well, they're probably just going to automatically not get started. Well, guys, your mind is the most powerful tool. This business is 80% mindset, 10% work. If you can believe that it's going to happen and know exactly where you're going and stop at nothing to get it done, the work will come. I'm excited to do my work when I know exactly where that work is going to take me. I know exactly what this goal, like if I have a fast start to earn, if y'all don't know what fast starts are, every time you enroll a distributor, help them get their first 6 customers, they get $150 shopping spree, you get a $150 bonus. When I wake up in the morning, if I have a fast start to earn, I'm like, I need 6 LCs, quick, stat, let's go, that's $150. I get to help them win, and then I'm encouraged to work my business that day, when obviously I'd rather not sometimes. And there are days that I don't feel super excited. I know Morgan has days that she wakes up and she'd rather just not. She'd rather just stay in bed and hang out with Derek and go have a fun day, but she has priorities and she has goals. And now, because of those investments we made into our business, we now get to live the life that we do live, because of those decisions that we made, because of those mindset decisions that we made to continue going when it was hard, to keep sharing our story even when we felt like no one was listening, to keep planting those seeds even when it felt like they were not harvesting when we wanted them to. And that's how we're able to share on this Zoom as to why we have such incredible teams of people, is that we did it every single day. No excuses, strong mindset, plugging into ourselves, making sure we're showing up every single day consistently. And I promise you, if you make that decision today to show up no matter what at all costs, you will be successful.
Sorry, 1 second. Some random thing popped up on my thing. I didn't know what it said. Here's what I want to say on that same topic. Choose the decision, make your decisions today that others won't, and choose how you live today like others won't, so that you can one day live how others can't. Okay? So the decisions that I make today, they're small sacrifices so that I can say no to the small things now, so I can say yes to the big things later. Somebody asked me tonight, they said, do you want to go to dinner with me and my boyfriend? She's on this team, she's on here right now, but she asked me to go to dinner. And I said, no, I can't, because I'm going to work out, and then I have 2 Zooms to get on tonight. it would have been easier to skip the gym and to just say, we'll cancel the Zooms, no big deal. But I know that I would rather sacrifice that now so I can say yes to being healthy, and so I can say yes to being a good leader for my team. So I can say yes to ambassadors. So I can say yes to the things that we want to be able to do. So it's small sacrifices now, making choices now that others won't, so you can live soon how others can't. The other thing that I want to say too is whenever she was talking about you're going to see whatever you're looking for, you can have the exact same situation as someone else, and one of you will see obstacles and one of you will see opportunity. So what I want to ask you right now is, when you're thinking about enrolling distributors, are you looking for obstacles? Or is that what you're finding? Because if it is, it's what you're looking for, even if it's unintentional, and it usually is. So before you get defensive, if you're like, I'm not looking for obstacles, you probably are, because you're getting defensive about it. Okay, so I'm just telling you in a loving way, whatever you're getting most of, it's what you're looking for. Because whenever somebody says, oh, I only got 3 people that liked my post, they see an obstacle. But when I look at it, I think, oh, that's 3 more people that just saw my post that are probably going to order from me eventually, whether it's today or next year. So that's an opportunity. You have to change your vision. Shay just put on glasses. So I know they're blue light glasses, but earlier, if you've ever worn blue light glasses, you pull them down and everything is blue. You put them on and everything's yellow. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some of you have the blue light glasses on, you need to take them off. Some of you don't have the blue light glasses on, you need to put them on. Change your vision so that you can change your focus. When you're so focused on looking for things that are going to go wrong and people that aren't going to sign up, and oh, I knew that they wouldn't respond back to me, or whatever it is, when you have this thing in your head, this idea that you've made up that this is true, you're going to find every single thing that you can as evidence to back up that claim. So if you say, I'm never going to be able to sign distributors, I just can't do this, my team's never going to grow, I just suck at this business, nobody that I talk to wants to join, every time somebody leaves you on red, you're going to go look for it to find evidence to make that statement true. Every time somebody doesn't respond to you, you're going to make that statement more true because of the evidence that you're looking for. That's somebody looking for an obstacle versus the ones looking for the opportunity that say, my team's exploding. Maybe you've never signed a distributor before. You can still speak that over yourself. My team is exploding. I am so excited. I'm a mass distributor enroller. I can do this. The people that I sign up are excited. They want to work with me and they're ready to run and they're my next diamonds and I'm going to hit this bonus. I'm going to change my family's life and I don't care how long it takes. Somebody doesn't leave, or somebody leaves them on red, same thing happens, but they don't care about that. They're not focused on that. They move on and they know that there are 7 billion people in the world. And if one person doesn't respond to them, it doesn't mean they're not going to be successful at this business. It just means that they've got to talk to more people and they're not afraid to do that because they don't mind putting in the work. They see the opportunity and they're running after that. So obstacles are opportunity. Whatever you're looking for, you're going to get more of. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's in the Bible. So the way you speak over yourself is going to directly affect and impact how your business is going to go for you. It's either going to be full of life or full of death, and you get to choose that based on how you think and how you speak. Not only out loud, but to yourself in your head where nobody knows the thoughts that you have. The things that you start to speak about, you bring about. So be very careful. If you are in a position right now that you don't want to be in, chances are this is what got you there. If you can change this, then you can change this and you can change your outcome. You can change your surroundings. You can change your circumstances by the words that you speak. So start speaking life. Whenever she gave you the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind book, that's a way you can start changing your perspective because you have to shift that mindset, change the things that you've been saying, replace them with the truth. Okay, not some made up truth that you said was true, but the real truth. And that's that you are made for more. That God did not look at you and say, oh, that person's going to be successful, but you're not. Sorry. God did not put more favor on anyone on this Zoom than he put on you, and you have equal favor and equal opportunity in this business to be successful, and he wants to see you go after all of it because he cannot bless the work that you don't put your hands to. He cannot move something that you're not willing to move your feet for. The last thing I want to say is you're never going to regret the work that you put in. You're only going to regret the work that you don't do. When Shay said that she sacrificed her sleep, I've done the same thing. I still do the same thing. But I can tell you right now, in the situation that we're in, being able to know the people that I know and having done the things I've been able to do, paying off the debt that I've been able to pay off, I never look back and think, man, March 5th, 2017, I wish I had an extra hour of sleep. You're not going to regret the work that you don't do. You're always going to regret the work that you don't do. You're never going to regret the work that you do. Okay? So I know that sounds silly, but whenever you think about that, like, should I stay up an extra hour to get my stuff done for my business, or should I go to sleep? Ask yourself which is going to matter more in a year from now. The work that you did or the sleep that you got. All right, Shay, do you have any last words?
Go take the things that you learned tonight and actually implement them. Okay, talk is cheap. Action will get you farther. Okay, you got to make sure that you're doing the things that we shared with you. Get out there, be confident, be excited. Use the tips that we shared with you, because at one point, me and Morgan, we're learning all of the tips that we shared with you tonight, and we implemented them, and that's why we are where we are. And then go turn around and teach your teams. Take this and implement it with them, and go be excited in your chats. Hype up your chats. Text your upline. Tell them how excited you were about being on this Zoom. I love getting texts from my team when they get off trainings, because I know that they took the time to show up for their business, and those are the people I want to work with. And so text them and tell them what you learned from this, and blow up your chats and be excited about how good the Zoom was. So I love y'all. Thanks for having me.
Yes, you killed it. And shout out to Bree, who just signed a distributor on the distributor training Zoom. So that's awesome. You guys, we believe in you. You got this. Have a great week. Bye.